I thought Trudeau would be at least mentioned in here. Dude, the whole document doesn't even mention Justin Trudeau. No fucking way. What is this? Oh, what is this? Jordan Peterson. Jordan, what is going on, Jordan Peterson?
Despite my
Oh god, he's red. Dude, eat less meat. What the fuck is going on? He's got a dapper suit on though.
proclivity to feel guilt, which is quite
Oh shit, Jordan Peterson. Let's see what Mr. Red has been up
substantive. And despite
to. He is so fucking red, dude. Hold on. What is going on with him? Jordan P. Peterson. When did he start his fucking? When did he start his shit? Let's pull up one of the early videos of him. Jordan Peterson. Campus. Where he has that silly. Okay, this one.
I want to go talk to Peterson.
This one. Like, look at him here. Look at him here. This is where his fucking fame started, right? Look at him now. He's like 6 tones darker. What happened? And he's so red. What the fuck? Is all that fucking beef he's been eating?
despite my temperamental unwillingness to engage in conflict, not only do I not see what I did
What
wrong,
are the men?
I think what I've done on the public communication front is my responsibility as a clinician to tell the truth about what I see. So we'll make it public.
He will make it public. Oh, what are these photos? Oh, this is so cringe. Look at me, I'm a modern philosopher. A big thinker. Asking the questions that no one dared to ask before. Moving mountains and public perception. You know, what is this? Oh, shit. Oh, if you have an intro of fucking classical music and a montage of you, a montage of stock photos of you looking like a thinking man. What? Oh,
Dad, nice to see you.
Hey, man.
that's his daughter. She kind of looks like Ben Shapiro as well. She looks like the.
Nick, how you doing?
I'm not doing too bad. How are you?
Good, actually. All things considered, I'm in Milwaukee, looking forward to the presidential debate tonight. That's fun. I'm
presidential debate.
perplexed, I would say, about the situation in Canada.
Is it?
I've
Let's see what Mr. Peterson has to say. Jordan, talk to
No,
me, Jordan.
the court that we appealed the College of Psychologists' decision to decided that the college it's within the college's purview to stop me from having any political opinions, as far as I can tell. The
Read the fucking
decision, which I posted on Twitter and will post in the description of this video.
Okay. Where's the decision? Let's read the whole thing. Post in the description of this video. Where is it? GoFundMe. GoFundMe is the first one. Full court decision. There we go. Ay. This is long. This is fucking long. Is there like an abstract to this? The decision. Okay, this is not too long. Let's go through this. Let's see what they decided. Whatever. Let's just read it. ICRC. Okay, whatever. International Committee of... I don't know. Right. Let's read the decision. ICRC. The ICRC found that Dr. Peterson appeared to be engaging in degrading comments about a former client and making demeaning jokes on the Joe Rogan Experience. It expressed concern that by referring to Elliot Page as her, and by their former name, and by calling Catherine McKenney an appalling, self-righteous, moralizing thing, Dr. Peterson may be engaging in degrading, demeaning, and unprofessional comments. The panel also stated that referring to the physician who performed Elliot Page's surgery as criminal appears to be inflammatory and unprofessional. Following reference to the Gerald Butts and Sports Illustrated comments, the panel stated that is very concerned that looked at cumulatively, these public statements may be reasonably regarded by members of the profession as disgraceful, dishonorable, and or unprofessional. The decision continued. The panel is concerned that by making public statements that may be inconsistent with the professional standards, policies, and ethics currently adopted by the college poses moderate risks of harm to the public. These potential harms include undermining public trust in the profession of psychology and trust in the college's ability to regulate the profession in the public interest. Public statements of this nature may also raise questions about Dr. Peterson's ability to appropriately carry out his responsibilities as a registered psychologist. While Dr. Peterson may not currently have an active clinical practice, he continues to be registered and authorized to do so. Furthermore, public statements that are demeaning, degrading, and unprofessional may cause harm both to the people they are directed at and to the impacted and other communities more broadly. The panel also said it was very concerned about recurrence risk, which it described as high. In support of this conclusion, the panel referred to the advice Dr. Peterson received in 2020, the lack of independent advisors who could review his communications through the lens of his obligations as a member of the college, and that Dr. Peterson did not appear to acknowledge any of the panel's concerns about his statements. The panel then set out the terms of the SCRP for Dr. Peterson. It directed that Dr. Peterson enter a Pardon me, I am dyslexic. It directed that Dr. Peterson enter a coaching program with either one of the two individuals identified by the panel to review, reflect, and ameliorate his professionalism in public statements. The coaching program was to begin within 3 months and to be completed within 12 months. Costs associated with the coaching were to be borne by Dr. Peterson. The panel also stated that failure to comply with the SCERP may result in an allegation of professional misconduct, and that unless the coach provided a final report indicating that the concerns have been appropriately remediated in the public interest, Dr. Peterson will not be considered to have successfully complied with the SCERP, which may constitute professional misconduct. Okay. Right. I think this is completely valid. The thing is, right, freedom of speech should, of course, apply to everyone, right? You should be free to think and say what you want, even if what you think and say is regarded as hateful by some or plainly wrong, right? People are allowed to believe that Bigfoot is real. People are allowed to believe that the earth is flat. That doesn't mean they're correct, but they're allowed to believe it. And they're allowed to proclaim it. They're allowed to tell people the earth is flat. I know the truth. Listen to me. They're allowed to do that. As long as it's not potentially dangerous misinformation, right? As long as someone's not saying, I don't know, eat dirt because it will give you vitamin C and you will live longer, right? Yeah, then maybe you should do something, right? But as long as they're not harming anyone or not calling anyone to action that would result in harmful consequences, they should be allowed to say whatever they want. The difference is, and where it becomes a problem, what you say and when you say, is if you are representing either a certain organization, a certain profession, or yeah, that's about it, right? Because you can't separate yourself. Like, let's take Dr. Fauci, right? Or Dr. Fauci is just a very well-known doctor, right? Everyone knows his name. He's a medical professional. Let's say Dr. Fauci goes fucking batshit insane, starts posting on Facebook, starts appearing on college campuses and saying like wild shit, right? Starts saying that, I don't know, men are not people. Men are animals and men shouldn't exist and every man should commit no longer alive. Start saying wild, crazy shit like that. Yeah, there should be consequences. You can take away his medical license. Yeah, there should be some consequences that come with that because he's a trusted medical professional. People trust what he says more than they do, you know, just, I don't know, Steve from the streets, right? He has more credibility because he's a part of this organization and he is a registered psychologist. So if you distance yourself from that, you can say whatever the fuck you want. If he was no longer a member of this organization and he didn't practice psychology, yeah, you can say whatever the fuck you want. But as long as you're advertising yourself as Dr. Jordan Peterson, a psychologist, then you should have a little bit more regard to what the fuck you're saying, right? Like commenting on Elliot Page's surgery and all of that is just fucking stupid and needless. Like, it's not your fucking business. It's an adult going to a professional to have a surgery. You are now attacking this surgeon who performed the surgery, right? And you're attacking this individual who has nothing to do with you, just wants to live their life. They've had gender affirming surgery. They've definitely not done it fucking overnight. They've obviously put thought into this and you're just fucking demeaning them, right? You can have your opinion on trans issues, but as long as you're not fucking, you're going after specific people and specific surgeons and specific procedures, right? If you, and fucking, you know, bringing examples of your own clients is fucking dumb. Yeah, of course you can say that, I don't know, I am wary about these trans topics because and this and that and that and that. I am worried that if we do this and this and that, this and this and that will happen to the future generations. Yeah, you can say stuff like that, but you have to say it professionally. You can't go after someone. You can't demean someone because you don't agree with it. Elliot Page has nothing to do with you. Nothing. So don't bring him into this. Leave him out of it. Just say it in broad terms. Say what concerns you, what the issue is. Not just fucking shit like this, you know. But let's see what he has to say about this. I agree with this decision. If you're a licensed psychologist, you are under more scrutiny. And you should watch what you say. You know. If a doctor start selling you fucking prime energy and saying, you know, you're gonna fucking live longer, it's very good for you. Drink prime. Get intravenous prime. Put fucking prime suppositories up your ass and run a 10k, dude. Fucking prime for the win. W's in the chat, right? If a fucking cardio surgeon starts fucking spouting shit like that, yeah, he should lose his job. What the fuck is he doing? You know? But that's common sense. If a mechanic from Boston starts selling you 300 milligram caffeine drinks and telling you, yo, this shit is fucking good, dude, it's very good for you. He's not a professional. No one's gonna expect him to have any kind of knowledge on this. You're stupid if you buy the 300 milligram caffeine drink from him. It's your own fault. You are scammed. You're dumb. But if it is a doctor, a respected physician, telling you, oh, I got this new 300 milligram caffeine drink that is gonna make your pee-pee really big and your ball really large, you're gonna be like, oh, well, he is a physician, he is a doctor. You do some Googling, oh, okay. He's a well-respected cardiologist, I don't fucking know. Maybe I should listen to him. You know, you have more credibility, therefore you have more responsibility. You have more power. With more power comes greater responsibility. It makes sense. You know, the fuck are you mad about? But a year-long program? That is a rough punishment. 12 months. To begin within 3 months and be completed within 12 months. Within 12 months. So that implies that it can be completed in less than 12 months as well. But even if it's like 10 months, nearly a year for like fucking social media rehab, I'd be pretty annoyed. I'd be pretty annoyed as well. But I mean, you dug this hole, now you gotta climb out of it. You know? Oh, listening to, because he's up in age now as well, right? He's in his 50s or 60s, something like that, right? Jordan Peterson. How old is he? He's 61 years old, right? So he's got to be there in his colourful suit, right? The 61-year-old man, like, listening to some 30-year-old, you know, give him social media training. All right, Mr. Peterson, so what did we learn last time? Like, it's gonna feel so condescending. Like, oh shit. Oh shit, it's a good punishment. Oh, it's like putting your child in timeout, but the timeout is for a fucking year, you know? Pretty funny. Let's see, what the fuck does he have to say about this? We read the decision.
Starts out by making a case for the fundamental reality of freedom of speech for Canadians in Canada, and then says, but, and that's always a bad start when you're talking about freedom of speech, but fundamental reality of freedom of speech for Canadians in Canada, and then says, but, and that's always a bad start when you're talking about freedom of speech, but apparently the college has the right to decide that I can be re-educated forcibly with the risk of my license.
How we know you're not a man?
Statements that the members of the college don't agree with, and those opinions involve two criticisms of Justin Trudeau, one criticism of his chief of staff, one criticism of an Ottawa city councillor, and then my objection on Joe Rogan to the climate apocalyptic fear-mongering that idiot tyrants are foisting on the general population.
Wait.
Apparently that makes me unprofessional.
Wait. Listen here, you red, colourful man. He is conveniently leaving out the main issue. Climate, whatever the fuck. And Justin Trudeau were not the problem. The problem was him as a medical professional, as a licensed psychologist, going after Elliot Page specifically and his surgeon and the procedure that was done on him. Purposefully calling it like a crime and shit. That was the problem, dude. That was the problem. That is written in the decision. There is nothing about fucking Justin Trudeau there or your fucking climate shit. Dude, what? Why are you lying to us, Jordan? Jordan, please. Speak the truth, Jordan.
And a disgrace to the profession, such that I am now going to be required, the college can go ahead with this, to put me into a re-education program.
Yes.
With their so-called social media experts.
Yes.
And that's also, by the way, a profession that does not exist, until I learn my lesson, whatever that is, regardless of how much time that takes, by...
Wait. Why is he acting like he's so fucking confused as to what is going on? He just doesn't want his audience to know exactly what is going on, right? Right? Because there's no way you can't comprehend this. The problem isn't that they are fucking limiting your freedom of speech. You're talking shit about fucking Justin Trudeau. Half the fucking population talks shit about Justin Trudeau. That is not the problem. The problem was the misinformation and the harmful information stemming from that you are a medical professional, hence you have more credibility in the field, hence more responsibility. That was the problem. That was the problem. Not fucking Justin Trudeau, but the shit that you said about Elliot Page. The trans issues. That's what was the problem was. Not fucking political.
Or
takes,
they can
dude.
take my
What the
license
fuck?
away. And so the court says,
But
well,
why
of
is he
course
even
you have
worried?
freedom of speech.
I don't get it. Why is he even worried about that? Yeah, okay. They take your license away, but when was the last time he practiced psychology? Or psychiatry? Psychiatry. He hasn't practiced in... He's basically a YouTuber now, you know? Why is he so mad?
Dr. Peterson. But because you're a professional,
Dr. Peterson.
you're bound by your professional organization. And
Dude,
apparently
How
they're
the
not...
shit is that a fucking... How the fuck is that news to you? How the fuck is that news to you? There's ethical standards to most professions. If you are representing an organization, a profession, right? Not even an organization, but let's say you're a journalist. All countries, most countries, have a code of journalistic ethics, right? There's a bunch of shit you can't do. You can't coerce someone. You can't blatantly lie to them unless it's in the public interest. If public interest outweighs the need for the subject to know, right? Let's say you're interviewing a war criminal, right? And you lie to them. You say, okay, this is off the record, and you secretly have something recording him, and what he confesses to is like horrendous crimes. Obviously, that's in the public interest to know. So in that case, you can publish the interview. But if you're just interviewing, let's say, a sports star, right? You're interviewing Mike Tyson, right? And he says, you ask him, so what is your preparation for this fight camp? And he tells you, okay, I'll tell you, but let's take this off the record. And he tells you his secrets. He tells you he's been doing this exact method to get more power into his right hand, right? He tells you this exact method, and you're like, oh shit, this is going to bring clicks. And then you publish it. Then you are likely going to get fired. You're going to get public backlash. You're not going to have credibility as a journalist, as it should be. Because it's your responsibility to abide by the code of ethics. Like, it's not rocket science, you cunt.
not bound, even though they're a government organization, fundamentally. Apparently, they're not bound by that fundamental constitutional axiom. And so that shows you, all you Canadians who are listening, and everyone outside of the country who might be the least bit interested in Canada, that shows you exactly what our bloody constitution is worth. And if Canadians are so daft that they don't think that that's a problem, well, they're going to figure it out over the next 15 years because
Everything's working fine.
there's
Good.
absolutely
Let's turn the
no
volume
excuse for
down
this. So that's what I'm
slightly.
thinking. Now, there's part of me that's thinking,
That should be better.
well, look, Peterson, the College of Psychologists is after you. You've taken it to court. Now the judges have decided that you're wrong. Maybe you're wrong.
Yeah.
And I think, well, I expressed political sentiment and I'm actually informed. And so for the life of me, I can't see how I'm wrong. I think I have a responsibility
Well-
to say what I think, and I think many people
If you can't see that you're wrong, then you deserve to be punished, little man. Maybe you'll see eventually. Dude, what? Do I have to read the decision again?
agree with that, and I think the fundamental consequence of that around
He's
the
so
world
mad.
has been massively beneficial to people.
No.
So I think, number one, what the hell? And number two, bring it on and see what happens. Because I will make absolutely every bit of this public in a way that the college and the courts
You will make every bit of this public while conveniently leaving out the reason why you are being punished. It's not your political takes on climate change. It is your opinions on trans people.
can hardly even imagine. So away we go. So that's how I'm doing.
That's how you're doing. Okay, but good.
Let's leave a comment. Because he replies to everything.
But good, you know. I
Isn't
mean,
it?
I didn't look. The court
Wait,
decision was
wait,
worse than
wait.
I thought it would be. I was already pessimistic. I figured the court would take the coward's way out and basically upgrade the college for procedural inadequacy. Because one of the things the college did, which is just beyond comprehension as far as I'm concerned, is pursue these complaints that were put forward by people distributed all over the world.
Shut up. I want to see if he fucking replies to me. Because he replies to everything on fucking Twitter. Specific. Elliot. What did I misspell here? Regarding Elliot. Not your political tax. Let's see. Let's see. Okay.
Who then claimed in writing falsely to be my clients, when in fact they were never my clients. And not only were they not my clients, they had nothing to do with anyone who was ever a client of mine.
Okay.
And so I figured at least the court would say, well, you know, of course you have the right to police professionals because you're a professional governing body, but they didn't even do that. They just basically said, well, of course you have the right to freedom of speech, except when it comes to, let's say, political opinions.
No, it's
you
not
know, then
political
what right do you have
opinions,
at all?
dude.
And you know, it's terrible, Michaela, because
It's more like
I know
it's
perfectly
medical
well
opinion.
from talking to many physicians in particular, but also lawyers.
It's not
and
like he's
psychologists,
hating on I don't know, Joe Biden and getting smoked because of that.
no one in Canada, arguably, and this is also extremely strange, it's surreal, there's no one in Canada except me that's actually in a position to fight this. Because it's hyper expensive.
I am the only man. I'm fighting alone. I'm a lone warrior.
And I don't know if my insurance will cover it. It's hyper expensive. It's stressful. It's complex. It's time consuming.
Like, what is he?
It could involve the suspension of my license. And there's not really anything that can be done to me that's a threat. I'm not serving as a clinician. I don't have a practice anymore because that became impossible, even though I love doing it. And I'm also not very happy about that. So I'm like the person who can do this. And Canadians have no idea to what degree.
You fucking made this path for yourself. He's framing this as if he is some public protector, right? He's come from the skies with his angel wings, blessing us common folk with his wisdom, his defense, and he's standing up for us, right? He paved this path. He started off he started off rather, how do I put this? He started off rather mildly, right? In the beginning, he framed his quarrels as if he only had a problem with the laws in Canada that they were trying to pass, right? He said in the beginning that his problem and why he was speaking out was that he didn't want anyone to police his speech. He didn't want anyone to force speech on him, right? His problem was with a bill that supposedly would have obligated you to use certain pronouns, right? And the list was quite long. Not just she and him, but, zer and whatever the fucking pronouns are, right? The bill was supposed to be that if you don't use these pronouns, if you purposefully misuse them, if, let's say, someone is a trans man and they want to be referred to as a he, and you purposefully everywhere call them a she and use their, let's say, their dead name, you call them a she everywhere, you say, I don't know, she's this and that, you put, I don't know, posts on Facebook, tweets out that just she everywhere, then you can be liable for that as hate speech, right? And his point in the beginning was that this would be dangerous to give such power to the lawmakers, because what would be next, right? What would they start to police next? Maybe you're not allowed to say this and this anymore. So that was his initial problem, right? He framed it as if he was standing up for free speech. And that was his only issue, not with trans people, right? So in the beginning, people were like, which was a smart move, because it is kind of, it's a middle ground, right? You're not necessarily directly going after trans people. You're not saying that you shouldn't be trans, but you're saying that the government shouldn't police speech, right? So it's kind of like, it's packaged in this nice way that allows you to be centrist, right? It allows you to be on the middle ground. I don't care what people do, but government shouldn't mess with us. Government shouldn't mess with my shit. Yeah? So he was kind of, that's why he raised in popularity so fucking quickly. Because people were like, okay, he kind of makes a point. I don't want the government to tell me what the fuck I need to say and what I don't need to say. What if the government now says that I can't make fun of the president anymore? What if the president is stupid? I want to make fun of him. But I can't, because I can be liable and I can be put to jail. People kind of saw the problem. They were like, okay, maybe this man has a point. But little by little, I don't know if it was the internet, but this man went cuckoo bananas and he fucking started spewing hateful shit. Hateful shit. How being trans is a disease and how people are transing our kids and how you shouldn't be showing this on the fucking campus and all that fucking nonsense shit. So the hateful stuff came afterwards. Bro, you got to take accountability, dude.
Professionals in Canada are now required not to say what they think or to lie outright. So, for example, therapists are required by law.
No fucking shit. No fucking shit. If the stuff that you think is fucking, let's take EMT workers, right? Let's take people who work in the emergency services. People who work, let's say, on an ambulance brigade, right? They have the darkest sense of humor. The fucking darkest sense of humor. And it's understandable, because the work it's hard. It's grueling work. It's emotionally hard. It's mentally draining. It's physically hard. It is tough fucking work. And you gotta have a little bit of a dark sense of humor to survive in such a field, right? And they might think some crazy stuff, right? Let's say they respond to a call. There's a I don't know, a domestic violence situation. Something is fucked, right? The parents are drunk. They're yelling. They're fucking pissing in the corner. Chaos everywhere. in your head, you might be thinking, what the fuck are these drug addict fucking idiot cunts doing? Obviously, you're not going to fucking say it out loud. You're not going to, you gotta remain a professional. You've got to talk to them in a way that de-escalates the situation, that offers you to give them, that offers you an opportunity to help them, right? You calm everyone down, you get a sense of what the fuck is going on, and you find a way to help the people, right? You're not going to just fucking bash through the door like, what the fuck are you drunk cunts doing? You stupid piece of shit. You've been drinking since 3 p.m. and now you're drunk and now you've fucking done this and that. It's your own fault. You're a dumb cunt. You can't do that because you have an obligation to abide by the ethics, the code of ethics, to fucking uphold the standards in that field. What the fuck is surprising to you?
To lie
How is this 38 minutes, dude? I'm not going to watch the whole thing.
about, let's say, the gender identity of minors. And so, for me, especially on the therapy side, if you're required by law and by your professional organization to lie cowardly, you're done as a therapist, because the only thing you've got as a therapist is honesty. That's it. Honesty is what's curative. So, you know,
What do you mean to
it's
lie?
just part of how surreal the world is, and particularly how surreal Canada is.
He's
It's
framing
hard.
as if his opinions are the absolute truth. And if he doesn't express his opinions at a said therapy session, that means he's lying. Brother, but your views might also be wrong, right? You might not have the full information. Maybe you are biased. Have you ever thought about that? Maybe the information you're trying to give out is actually harmful. To tell a young person who's struggling with their gender identity, if you let your truths outshine what is actually good for the patient and what is actually medically known and medically relevant to this case, if you find that you have this obligation to say what you feel, even though it's detrimental to the patient, then yeah, that speech should be limited. Like, you can't say everything you think. You can't fucking, if you have a patient who's an alcoholic, you can't fucking roast them because you don't, like, what? Of course you have an obligation to fucking think about what you're saying.
Hard to fathom.
It is hard to fathom. Can I read just a couple of sentences from the decision so people have an idea of what's in here? It's
Let's
linked
see
below. People
what
can read the
paragraph
entire
they
thing.
choose.
But there's parts, like this is how it begins. When individuals join a regulated profession, they do not lose their charter right to freedom of expression. At the same time, however, they take on obligations and must abide by the rules of their regulatory body
Yeah.
that may limit their freedom of expression.
Yeah.
That's just one sentence after another. That's how it starts.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, perfect. It's a great thing to highlight.
what's
you know,
wrong
it's,
with that?
it's like, well, you have this fundamental right, but what? What rules? There's what? There's a rule, eh? There's a rule. Is that right?
How the fuck are you, a 61-year-old person, so fucking confused about this? Look at how fucking mad he is. He's so red, dude. How are you so fucking confused about this? What the fuck was confusing there? You have freedom of expression, you have freedom of speech, but you can't fucking say everything you want to say if you are a representative of a certain profession. If you are a medical professional, you are a doctor, you're a surgeon, whatever the fuck, you can't be out saying fucking, smoking is good for you, you know? Obviously, you have some obligations to abide by certain fucking rules and ethics. What the fuck is so confusing? Yeah, you can have that opinion privately. You can have the opinion that fucking crack cocaine is fucking nice, dude. But you can't be telling that to your patients. You can't be telling that on national television. You can't be like, hell yeah, fucking... By the way, this is satire, don't do crack cocaine. You can't be on television like, hey, yeah, let's fucking get on crack, everyone. obviously you're gonna get fired. Like, what? What are you confused about?
that the College of Psychologists has that I can't criticize Justin Trudeau on Twitter.
That wasn't the.
That's a rule, is it?
That wasn't the problem. That wasn't the problem. That wasn't the problem. What fucking Justin Trudeau? What fucking Justin Trudeau? Let's go to the decision. I am fucking miffed as shit. The decision. Appeared to be engaging in degrading comments about a former client and making demeaning jokes on Joe Rogan Experience. It expressed concern that by referring to Elliot Page as her and by their former name, by calling Catherine McKenney an appalling self-righteous moralizing thing, Dr. Peterson may be engaging in degrading, demeaning and unprofessional comments. Nothing about his fucking political opinions on fucking Justin Trudeau. The panel also stated that by referring to shit. The panel also stated that referring to the physician who performed Elliot Page's I can't speak. Take a moment. I can't read, dude. The panel also stated that referring to the physician who performed Elliot Page's surgery as a criminal appears to be inflammatory and unprofessional. That is the main gripe. That is the main gripe. Nowhere in here, in the main decision portion, does it say anything about motherfucking Justin Trudeau. Just out of curiosity, let's put Justin Dude, what the fuck? Ain't no way. Am I writing that wrong? Justin Trudeau. Dude, ain't no way. I thought Trudeau would be at least mentioned in here. Dude, the whole document doesn't even mention Justin Trudeau. No fucking way. Dude, how are you so blatant? You put the fucking decision in your description. Is he just booking on his viewers being that lazy that they're not going to do research and look this up? Dude! Trudeau is not mentioned once in here. It's political. Let's see, what does political come up with? Political, the word political, what he keeps aching on, that they're worried about his political takes. The word political is mentioned twice in this entire fucking document. And now let's give context. Oh, shit! Jordan, what is going on, Jordan? Let's see. Let's give the context then. Let's read this. Oh shit! I'm sorry if you're a Jordan Peterson fan, but kind of smoking him on that shadow pack, dude. Dr. Peterson. Okay, this is from the background and context portion of this document. I will read both of these two paragraphs since they both have the word political in there, and he has been aching on about them fucking being mad about his political takes, right? Dr. Peterson has been registered with the college as a clinical psychologist since 1999. However, he stopped seeing patients in 2017 and no longer has a clinical practice. Rather, as his counsel described him in their written submissions, he is a prolific author, podcaster, and YouTube content producer who maintains an active social media presence. In his social and political commentary, Dr. Peterson is often colourful and controversial. Nevertheless, Dr. Peterson maintains his membership in the college and refers to himself in his public statements as a clinical psychologist. Aye, there's the rub. Whether it is nobler in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune. Get fucked. So the first bit where the word political is even mentioned is his own counsel's description of what he does. The truth comes out. The truth is there. The truth is out there. Since at least 2018, The college has received complaints about Dr. Peterson's public statements. Some complaints have been formal, but many were tweeted to the college via the social media platform Twitter, and often involved Dr. Peterson's views on topics of social and political interest, including transgender questions, racism, overpopulation, and the response to COVID-19, among others. Let's pull up this banger. Jordan. Tweet. Hella takes, dude. Oh, this is some political commentary. This is some fucking, you know.
And if someone
Yeah.
anywhere in the world complains about the fact that I've criticized Justin Trudeau, let's say, that all of a sudden that's a rule, even though it wasn't a rule.
What a slimy little bitch, dude. Justin Trudeau has nothing to do with this, even though he's a cunt too.
And of course I get to criticize Justin Trudeau, not only because he richly deserves it in every way you could
fucking
possibly
shit.
imagine, but because that's actually what
It makes sense that he's trying to frame this way, right? Because, I don't know, roughly 50% of the world who knows Justin Trudeau fucking hates him, right? Like, he's not a widely beloved figure, right? He has plenty of haters, and for a good reason. He has plenty of haters. So, he's picking a good distraction, booking on that no one will actually read the document, or only read the paragraphs he has highlighted in his video, conveniently leaving out the actual reason the decision was made, right? He's booking on no one actually looking at this goddamn document, and everyone hating Justin Trudeau enough to be like, okay, because they're in this echo chamber anyway. They are all Jordan Peterson, yes man, right? So you're going to be in the comments like, oh yeah, fuck Justin Trudeau, free Jordan Peterson, right? That's what he's hoping for. Is it working? I don't know. Let's see the comments. 12 hours ago, thank you for standing up for us few Canadians who still believe in freedom. Fellow Canadian, and I stand with Dr. Peterson. This was shocking to me that Canada has sunk so low, even very highest levels are corrupt. It is so refreshing to hear an academic who is not institutionalized. Dr. Peterson, I've been following you for years. You are right, our voices do count. And whether small or big, we can do yeah, is yes man, dude. I'm a Canadian from the former Soviet Union. Never in my mind thought I'd be living through this nightmare again. Dude, oh, fuck. You're comparing Canada and Mr. Hate Speech being fucking policed finally. You're comparing that to the Soviet Union. Dude, are you fucking nuts? Millions of people being sent to forced labor camps. Millions and millions and millions dying of starvation, cold, being put onto fucking animal wagons in trains.
what freedom of speech means.
Dude, I'm so invested.
So I
man.
have no idea what the court means by, abiding by the rules. So
Yeah.
the rules
Then
are
you're
whatever
stupid.
the bloody College of Psychologists determines constitutes a rule after the fact, given their
No.
complete freedom to
College of Psychology.
make
Let's
manifest
see.
any rules they
College
want.
of Psychology in Ontario.
Yeah.
It's beyond comprehension. And yes, but I have freedom of speech. It's like, do I now? What do I get to talk about? Apparently, I can't even talk about the weather. Here's
The weather. Look at how he's framing this. You sly cunt. Climate change has nothing to do with this. Fucking, what's her face? Fucking Greta Thunberg wannabe. Climate change has nothing to do with this. That's not why you're getting spanked, big boy. Let's see, ethics, what's it called? List of ethics? Code of ethics. Ontario Psychology Code of Ethics. Standards for professional conduct. Ontario. Let's see. All right, so let's go through the standards of professional conduct. Let's see if it is so limiting and so bizarre and so fucking vague. Let's see. In presenting their qualifications, members must conform to the following practices. Members must show their registration certificate to a client upon request. Easy enough. Members must represent themselves to the public as a member of the college by using the title psychologist or psychological associate, which he has done, right? By calling yourself a clinical psychologist, by using that as your title, you are effectively tying yourself to this code of conduct. If you do not call yourself, I don't think they would have had a problem if he just left out. He might have mentioned at some point, right? I used to be a clinical psychologist. I used to have a practice. I no longer practice. And then he doesn't mention it anymore. But everywhere under his name, in all of his videos, it is always Dr. Jordan Peterson, a clinical psychologist. He uses that to gain credibility, but doesn't want none of the accountability. Yeah? So, if you're going by your title, you must abide by the code. Makes sense, right? Right. Accuracy of public statements. Members must not knowingly make public statements that are false, misleading, or fraudulent concerning their psychological services or professional activities, or those of persons or organizations with which they are affiliated. Accordingly, members must not misrepresent directly or by implication their professional qualifications, such as education, experience, or areas of competence. Moreover, members must not represent their qualifications. Moreover, members must not misrepresent their qualifications by listing or displaying any affiliations with an organization that might be construed as implying the sponsorship or certification of the organization. Members may list or display an affiliation only if such sponsorship or certification does in fact exist. Too much reading. Promotion, that doesn't matter. Public announcements. Public announcements of psychological services and fees must be offered in the name of an autonomous practice member of the college. Provision of information to the public. Members who provides? Is that a type? Members who provide information, advice, or comment to the public via any medium must take precautions to ensure that the statements are accurate and supportable based on current professional literature and research. Too many S's and shit, I start to fumble it. The statements are consistent with the professional standards, policies, and ethics currently adopted by the college. And it would reasonably be expected that an individual member of the public receiving the information would understand that these statements are for information only, that a professional relationship has not been established, and there is no intent to provide professional services to the individual. There you go. Okay, let's not even take his wide opinions on the trans issues. Let's focus just on the problem at hand, the Elliot Page comments, right? They are both false, misleading, and basically fraudulent. He's calling the surgeon a criminal based on him not agreeing with the procedure, based on his opinions not aligning with why the procedure was undertaken, right? That is enough to call the surgeon a criminal, right? To fucking throw dirt on their name, to fucking, what's the word? Inflammatory statements. Yep. Sorry, my English not very good today. My English very bad.
Here's another fact. This is literally the truth.
Literally the truth.
People can submit a complaint to the College of Psychologists from anywhere in the world. And so someone in the States submitted a complaint about the last conversation I had with Joe Rogan, where I expressed my doubts about the validity of economic predictions based on climate science. The complainants submitted the entire transcript, right?
Yeah.
A 3-hour conversation as evidence of my unprofessional behavior.
Okay.
And the college, which did not have to pursue that complaint, went forward with it. So, like, okay, I talked to Joe for 3 hours. Apparently, everything I said in that 3 hours
No
was
fucking way.
unprofessional and a disgrace to the
How are
profession.
you leaving that out?
So, like,
He's just conveniently
what
lying
am I
to
supposed
you.
to do about that? The answer
He's
is, well,
just
we're going to appeal the decision. I will
blatantly
take
lying. He's blatantly lying. Let's see. Let's put climate change. Dude, even climate isn't fucking mentioned in this entire fucking document. None of the problems have anything to do with what you said about climate change and the fucking economic whatever the fucks. Economic implications. That has nothing to do with this. Whew, I'm on fire, dude. I am feeling the fire of justice burning in my bottom. What the fuck? What the fuck? He must know that his audience just doesn't care, that they're gonna take what he says as truth, as gospel. He must know that his echo chamber is powerful enough that he could say whatever the fuck he wants. He could go off and say, you know, the college had a problem from the 3-hour podcast that we did. I don't know why I'm doing like a Swedish accent for him. Jordan Peterson. The 3-hour podcast. The college has a problem with me hating on Pirelli tires. I said that Pirelli tires are shit. Michelin has way better tires. And they fucking reneged my license. They say I need to go on a fucking drift course, man. What the fuck? He could have said whatever the fuck he wanted to do. No one would have looked it up. No one would have cared. You're blatantly lying. I'm 10 minutes in. There ain't been a fucking smidge about Elliot Page. Ooh. Dude. I'm glad I stumbled onto this. Thank you, YouTube algorithm, for fucking recommending this shit to me. And by the way, I'm not like a fucking born out the gate progressive liberal Peterson hater, right? When I was younger, I was so into these guys. I would watch Jordan Peterson. I would watch fucking Ben Shapiro. I would watch all of them, and I was super into it. Because I didn't do my own research. I didn't read up on things. I didn't look at both sides. I only looked at this shit. This is all I listened to. And I was so fucking narrow-minded. I was just, Jordan, Ben, give me information. Why trans man is bad. Tell me please. Tell me why you are so manly.
I'm not optimistic about that either. I don't see how
Let's
you can
see.
win this without overturning colleges in general. And I don't like that's not a good look for the colleges to lose this. So won't the Supreme Court, I know they're not supposed to be pressured, but won't they, what's the benefit for them for ruling in your favor? Other
well,
than
the
withholding
benefit would
freedom
be
of
that they
speech.
support, well, they would support the most fundamental principle of a free society, right? It's like, why do you have the right to freedom of speech? Well, the answer is because
Really?
there's no difference between free speech and thinking, no difference between free speech and dialogue, and no difference
there
between
is.
free speech and problem solving and negotiation.
What do you mean there's no difference between free speech and thinking? You agree that there is free speech, there's difference between free speech and hate speech, right? Right? I can think some heinous things, but I can't say them all out loud. You can't go to Germany and start giving the no-no salute and fucking singing certain marching songs, right? It's not allowed. That is not freedom of speech. that particular example would be hate speech. That would be criminal. You can't do that. So no, freedom of speech and thinking whatever the fuck you want are not the same thing. There's accountability, big man.
And so, and therefore peace. If you eliminate that, people can no longer think, they can no longer adapt, they can no longer
And that
negotiate.
would not be,
they no longer,
like, they all try to frame this shit as if this is some fucking, as if being allowed to say whatever the fuck would result in this peaceful utopian society, right? When it is the counter opposite. Okay, limiting speech is a fucking tricky subject. Very tricky subject. But everyone fucking knows that certain things should not be said. Even if you think it, you should not say it. Right? Don't yell fire at a crowded theatre. The dumbest, most simple explanation of it all. Right? There is shit that you shouldn't say. If everyone went out spouting whatever the fuck came to mind, if you go on the streets, let's say you're a closeted racist, right? When you're at home, you're fucking spewing out the N-word at everything that goes wrong, right? You stub your toe, you're like, N-word, this and that, right? Let's say this Petersonian utopian society exists and everyone is allowed to say whatever the fuck they want. Now this guy is on the streets going N-word this, N-word that. N-word this, N-word that. And the other closeted racists are going to be like, oh shit, well he's doing it, let's fucking go. Now there's 50 of them on the streets.
through this before, you know, when Cambridge University canceled the seminar I was going to conduct there on Exodus, I found out eventually that it was basically one person who was behind all of that. There were two more that were associated with that person who are pushing the college to go after me for whatever the hell their reasons are. You know, maybe they disagree with my political opinions, particularly on the trans front. And that was the tweet, I think, that really probably initiated all this, right? I tweeted about Elliot Page.
Now he mentions it. Passing by, he mentions it. That the college cancelled his seminar because of an Elliot Page tweet. This whole fucking problem stems from this shit.
And so
It's not
I'm
just the college.
pretty happy that I tweeted that
he
particular
mentioned-
tweet. And I also think in 5 years, nobody will admit that they were ever in favor of any of this, right? This is far worse than the lobotomies of the 1930s. This is inexcusable. You know, I read one poor kid today
What the fuck?
on Twitter, detransitioner, was decrying his castration. Fancy that. And
Fancy
pointed out,
that.
for example, that
He's
you know,
so
he's a young
mad.
guy. He has no sexual drive whatsoever. And he said, well, you know,
One
what am I going to do? What have I
anecdotal
lost? I can't believe I was so
little
stupid
bit
as to
of
have gone through with
evidence.
this. It's like, you know, fair enough, kid. You probably should have woken up. But the people who facilitated that transformation, your therapists and your surgeons,
What happened
think
to
it's-
do no harm?
Dude,
yeah, right.
shut the fuck up. Elliot Page is an adult. It's not like a fucking 12-year-old, you know, fucking influenceable. What is the word? It's not like a fucking 12-year-old teenager who hasn't got their fucking shit together yet and he's a bit confused about what might be going on, right? It's not like a spur of the moment decision. The people have been fucking struggling with this shit for years and years and years and years, and people like you stigmatize this shit and make it harder to access these kind of surgeries, make it harder for this to be normalized, right? You can have your reasonable worries with this, right? You can express worry. Maybe, you know, regarding, let's say, the underaged surgeries. Yeah, I would be a bit wary if, I don't know, if your 11-year-old tells you they want a surgery, you're going to want it to be thought through. You're going to want it to be not spur of the moment. Yeah, I would have my what's the word? I would have my... I can't think of the word. You get what I'm trying to say, right? But if it's fucking adults, why the fuck shouldn't they be allowed to get this surgery if they want to? Fucking hell, I can fucking surgically implant horns on my head if I want to. You can turn yourself red if you want to, and no one can say shit. Right?
I should also point out,
What the fuck is in your business,
so
dude?
everyone is aware of this, surgeons are much more likely to be psychopathic than people in the typical profession.
What the fuck
That's
is
a
that?
well-documented
anything to do
phenomenon
with anything?
in the psychological literature. Now, it's not only surgeons, obviously. You see that in other professions as well. But if
As
you
in
happen
fucking-
to be sadistic and psychopathic,
What the fuck are you talking about? That's in any kind of leading profession. Is like narrowly focusing on specifically surgeons because it fits his point. It's fucking long known that like big business leaders, like fucking CEOs and shit, a pretty hefty percentage of them are either psychopaths or sociopaths. That's been known for fucking years. It's not fucking specifically surgeons. 50% of surgeons are crazy. Like, he's trying to paint it as if some fucking Outlast. Let me show you. He's trying to paint it as if this fucking dude is gonna come and operate on you, right? That's what he's trying to paint in your head.
profession that allows you to cut people up. And you think, well, there are no
Your
people like that.
profession
It's like, well,
allows to get into someone's head. I could argue that's pretty psychopathic. You can alter people's perceptions. You can potentially make them believe what you want them to believe. You have the tools to alter the coconut, you know? Maybe you are the
they just
psychopath.
arrested some nurse in the UK for killing a bunch of babies in her psychopathic and sadistic manner. And so if you don't think there are people like that, you're naive beyond belief, and you better bloody well pray that you never meet anyone
Why
like
the
that.
fuck?
Because they're looking for someone just...
Okay, there was a psychopath butcher somewhere who butchered a bunch of pigs. Shouldn't I never eat meat now? Like, what's your point? Yeah, there's many cases of fucking nurses being batshit insane and killing patients. There's cases of police officers being batshit insane and fucking doing insane stuff to the people they arrest. Oh, fuck, I hate that you can't... Why the fuck can't you say it? Oh, whatever. You know? This just happens to suit your narrative, big boy.
just as naive as you to have their way with.
Yes.
There are
yes.
countries now that
Be afraid of the surgeons, be afraid of the medical professionals. Don't go to the doctor if you are feeling bad. They might sadistically kill you, murder you, and take your skin and eyeballs. If you're feeling like you're coughing up a lung and you're dying, drink some essential oils and fucking buy the lobster shirt from Jordan Peterson. You will be healed. Dude.